move straight to the University of Ghana because the strike will cause a delay in our end-of-year examination. That's the worry being expressed by some students of the country's public universities as the University Teachers Association of Ghana and the Senior Staff Association embark on a nationwide strike today. The two unions, in separate demands, want government to address issues of their deteriorating conditions of service, while UTAG wants the implementation of a 2012 single spine package which puts entry-level lecturers on a salary of $2,084. The senior staffers are demanding the computation and release of their Tier 2 pensions in arrears. JoyNews' checks in some major public universities across the country reveal academic activities have grounded to a halt. Let's start from here in Accra, where my colleague Manuel Kranting has returned from the University of Ghana,
which has a capacity of about 250 students, is this morning totally empty. Well, if you know the University of Ghana's schedule very well, its lectures start from 7:30 a.m. And so, properly speaking, by this time, this class should have been full to capacity. But the opposite is actually what is happening, giving you an indication that indeed the strike of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, as was so declared sometime last week to take effect this morning, is now in full force. And so there's absolutely nobody here. I see a couple of the students while I walked into the lecture hall standing outside, a bit stranded, because indeed the indication is that for some of them, they did not even know that their lecturers were striking effective this morning. And so some of them are even sitting outside. You can see them with their heads on the table. I spoke to a couple of them outside, and you can see them having a conversation. Be jaw-jawing and thinking whether or not their lecturers are indeed going to come for the lectures. I'll just try and get a bit closer to them this morning and then speak to them about where they're coming from and why they're still, around here. But I think you can come a bit closer so we have a quick conversation. Right, so these are some of the students at the University of Ghana who had lectures this morning, and for them, they were really hopeful of having to meet their lecturers in the classrooms, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Worse off is that there is another strike which is currently in force, being organized by the Senior Staff Association Universities of Ghana. So their strike is sort of coinciding with the strike of the University Teachers Association of Ghana. Good morning, what's your name?
I'm Deborah.
Deborah, so you're a student of the University of Ghana, correct?
Yes, please.
Which level?
Level 100.
Level 100. You had a lecture this morning?
Yes, please.
Okay, tell me about the lecture. Is it happening? Why are you outside?
Yeah, I think it's been cancelled. Yes, I came with the hopes of coming for tutorials. We were told on Friday that there'll be tutorials towards the preparation of the exams, but it seems it's not coming on, so, yeah.
Was there any communication to you whatsoever?
Yeah, we got a letter. It was sent on a group chat, but I just hoped that there would be lectures, so I just came to find out.
So you are hoping against hope that, but what course are you reading? And I mean, are you done with your coursework for the semester? How is this going to affect you?
I'm doing biomedical engineering, and we are not done. Yes, like we have a lot to cover, and since we are just using 6 weeks for learning, we have a lot undone, and they were planning to use this week to finish the things they couldn't finish. But since the lectures are not coming on, I don't know how we'll be able to finish them. Yeah.
I'll come back for us to talk about how this will affect you. And you've mentioned the 6 weeks, and there's a peculiar explanation to why the University of Ghana is doing 6 weeks for lectures and not the original 13 weeks as you have it. I'll give that to you. But what's your name?
Etonam.
Etonam, I saw you sitting out there. You're reading yourself. You seem to have already taken the stuff into your own hands, and you are learning ahead of the lectures, correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, so tell me, what course do you read and why are you out this early?
Okay, so initially, the normal routine was to be 13 weeks of study. But due to the COVID-19 and then its outbreak and everything, it has been reduced to 6 weeks. And even with that 6 weeks, we are not able to cover everything in class. Some topics are being given to us as reading assignments. So it is up to you, the student. If you don't take on the extracurricular activity on yourself to learn more, you are really going to be left behind.
So even before the coming of the strike, there was a shortfall in terms of contact hours and so on?
Yeah, probably, but it was limited, more of online and then less of face-to-face. But with this second semester, I'm a level 100 student. So with this second semester, we've had more face-to-face than online lectures, yes.
And you are hoping that this morning you'll have your lectures to teach you, but that's not happening?
Yeah, hopefully, but if it doesn't come on, we still learn on our own.
Okay, let me speak to this lady. Well, this lady tells me she's coming from Kwabinya. You can confirm that, correct?
Yes, please.
So you're coming from Kwabinya. It means that you're not a resident on campus?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you had a lecture this morning?
Yes. I don't know if it's coming on, but for me, I thought it was coming on.
Okay. And so you prepared and came?
Yes, please.
Tell me, what did you find when you went to the class?
Nobody was there.
Say again?
Nobody was there, please.
Nobody was in a class? Yes. But are you done with your coursework and so on?
Yes, please. Majority.
You're done with majority of it, but you have exams this week, correct?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So this week is supposed to be your revision week?
Yes, please. Yes.
And then you're not having like lectures around?
No, please.
Okay, and so this is just the situation here at the University of Ghana. The students sort of walk in and walk out. The lecturers are demanding what they call proper conditions of service, as you would have it in 2012. The single spine salary structures adjustment put them a little over $2,000 at entry level for lecturers. But that is not the situation here. Now they are demanding that must happen, or else they are not returning to the class. And indeed, they are not in a class.
We head to the Ashanti region, where students of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology are worried strike by university teachers will cause delay in writing their end-of-year examination. The examination scheduled for next week may be disrupted if the industrial action by UTAG continues. Nanaya Ojima has been on this beat for us and joins me live. Right, we'll be going to Nanaya Ojima shortly, but Deputy Minister in charge of Employment and Labor Relations, Bright Rekubrobe, is also on the line for us. Sir, I'm grateful for your time. You've met the Senior Staff Association on strike and also the UTAG people on strike before this particular one. Why are we still here?
To your listeners and to Aisha yourself, it's an unfortunate situation. We are not happy with that situation at all. Still calling on UTAG and the Senior Staff Association to reason with us at this point and then go back to the lecture halls. So this is our plea to begin with. But Asha, we are not here for nothing. You know, these things are called negotiations. So a party comes, and if they are otherwise not entrenched, we must be able to get to a truce and bring everything to a close. Unfortunately, these matters are not resolved by only one party. In the case of the Senior Staff Association, their first request was for government to pay them their Tier 2 funds, which we did. Through the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations, we were able to get Ministry of Finance to honor that payment. So that has since been paid. Then the issue of interest comes. Aisha, the matter of interest is not just the clerk of the party. This involves data work. And so Controller and Accountant General, who is supposed to do that work, had been instructed to do so. Last Friday, our checks there indicates that there still is an ongoing process. So if you pin down a timeline that you haven't received interest on the principal that has been paid, monies which hitherto from 2010 had not been paid, and has been honored this time round. Just the interest that must be paid is what we are working on to pay. Then you say because of that you are going on strike. Sometimes some of these things need to be revisited and looked at, and that's why I'm saying that we are pleading with them. A letter has been sent to them through by the Labour Commission. I was told this afternoon that 12:30 on Thursday I am going to Labour Commission to meet with the Senior Staff Association, and then hopefully it's even possible that controller would have finished doing that work and then we take it to them. There are other issues of negotiations that are ongoing, conditions of service, which is also a process, and fair wages is taking that up. So that will also be resolved, God willing. The matter for UTAG, I must put on record that the current executives of UTAG have done so well by getting more enhanced conditions of service for me than any other leadership that I have even seen. But why are we here on strike? Here on strike for one reason. They have brought it to our attention that their salary have devalued from since 2012, and they want a restoration. Aisha, that's a bigger conversation. Graciously, the finance minister has agreed. My minister, the education minister, the finance, all of us are meeting them tomorrow. There was a release that was issued last Friday for a technical committee to be constituted. This morning, a letter has gone to UTAG leadership for them to come to a meeting tomorrow with the constitution of this subcommittee for us to begin the work on the conversation of the devalued salary and see how best we can, resolve this matter. So I'm sure by the end of tomorrow, we should have a better roadmap that will appeal to our UTAG members for them to go back to the lecture hall.
Mr. Rekuprobe, hold on a second for me, because it will be appropriate for us to know at what stage we are with some of the issues that have been raised in this letter. But my colleague, Nana Ojima, is at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. What's the situation there? Is it any different from what we're seeing in Accra?
It's different from what's happening in Accra. At Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the lecture halls are opened, but for lecturers to come in and perform their duties, they are not in. So students who were not aware of the situation this morning had to come to campus in hope that they are going to meet their lecturers and commence revision, as the students say, for preparing for examination, which is next week. So this morning there were some students, and to their surprise, they didn't meet their lecturers in the classroom. So for the students, it will be difficult for them to go through what they've been taught. Even though they are doing so, they say there are some topics that they have to treat with their lecturers before the semester comes to an end, or before they sit for the end of semester examination. But due to the absence of these lecturers, it will be difficult for them to go through these new topics before the examination. So they are worried about the situation. So some of the students are also doing their project work. That's the final year students. But this morning, some were supposed to commence their project defense. But the students who are, the lecturers who are supposed to supervise this academic exercise are not in school. So it's a big worry for students at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
Right. Mr. Rekuprobe, I'm happy about the fact that you think that by tomorrow we'll be seeing our way clear on this matter. But let's look at some of the issues that have been identified in the letter that was, the petition that was sent to you. And one of it talks about the computation of Tier 2 pension interest. Exactly which stage are we on this one?
Yes, that's what I explained earlier, that the principal had been paid about a month ago, and the issue of interest was raised. So we directed controller to do the computation. This is spanning the period 2010 to 2016. And so controller will have to take their time, generate the data, and compute the interest. That is what we have done. The evidence of which I can give you if you come to my office. You will see that an instruction has been given to controller. But like I said, some of these issues, they are not resolved by only one party. Normally, it starts with the mother ministry, and then it gets to a stage where our ministry comes in, and then Ministry of Finance will have to come in, and other government institutions that must help resolve this. So it's a matter of time. When we go to Labour Commission on Thursday, I am sure that looking at it and looking at the roadmap, we shall get understanding and they go back to do their work.
Now, as you can see now, it is the students who are feeling the pinch, especially as their exams is around the corner. What are you doing in the interim to ensure that teaching and learning is not halted on our campuses? Well,
it's an unfortunate situation. And, you know, these things happen. And the loser is ultimately even not the student. It is the country. You know, so we are appealing, and that is why government has been very proactive to get a letter this morning, go out and ensure that we are meeting tomorrow and ensure that we get all parties back to their workplaces. So I am appealing to them. Fortunately, the lecturers have not said they have withdrawn all their services. They said that they are not going to teach. And today, tomorrow, God willing, we meet them tomorrow, and we will appeal to them by way of a roadmap that will give them a clear sense of where we are going. Then they go back to the lecture halls.
Right. So let's go to Rafiq Salam, who also have an update on the strike situation. Hello, Rafiq.
Aisha, currently the situation. Hello,
Go
Aisha.
Go ahead, Rafiq.
The situation at the Simon Gedon Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies is not different. As I speak to you now, the lecturers have refused to render any service to anybody or student at the university. And now they have ordered the security personnel to lock all lecture halls and all offices of the faculty and also at the departments. And so at the university currently, no work is going on now there. And so students are stranded. I'm talking about the final year students. Remember, University for Development Studies, a couple of weeks ago, they went on vacation, but the final year students have to be there to deliver their thesis or their project work. And so they are supposed to submit these project work or these theses to the various faculties or departments. And so I'm told that the deadline is on the 9th of 10th. That's where they are supposed to defend their thesis. And so today, when the press conference was held by the various students of the university, they made a declaration that yes, we are embarking on an industrial strike, and the other thing will be that we will lock down all offices and faculties. So I came out and saw some students, about a dozen of them, they were in front of some of the offices, and then they wanted to submit this project work or their thesis, but the offices were locked. And so these students are now feeling the brunt of this industrial strike that has been embarked on by their lecturers at the SDU base. But let me also tell you that, Isa, it's not the situation at the SDU base. It's not only about the UTAG strike. They also have some reasons who they have added up to the industrial strike being embarked on. They are talking about salary discrepancies or disparities. They cited instances like the vice chancellor or the university, their financial controller, or whatever. They are taking salaries that are quite different from other vice chancellors at the various universities. So they want that one to be halted. They're also talking about their migration to the Comptroller and Accountant General's IPPD2. And they're saying that they should halt it because they are thinking that they will not be fairly treated if it's allowed to go on. And so for them, they stated categorically that it's a double track strike that they have embarked on. They are on the UTAG strike and also on a strike of their own. And so that's what they are saying. And they are saying that they will not render any service to anybody, any student at the school beginning today. And so they have already blocked lecture halls and also all faculties and department offices at the university.
Rafiq Salam is from the Upper West region with that update. Mr. Rakubrebe, if you're still on, I mean, over the period, we've seen the back and forth between you and the teachers on this one. Now, as you wait to engage them on Thursday, what are the assurances? Because already they have little confidence in government, in addressing their issues. And if you look at the letter they issued, they said, point 3 says that government's contemptuous and total disregard to the National Labour Commission's directive on January 28 upon hearing from both parties to resolve all concerns within a 3-month stipulated period, which also regrettably elapsed on March 31, 2021. So they already lost confidence, in government. What assurances are you giving them that, this matter will be brought to a closure on Thursday when you meet them?
Yes, what is happening is that whichever way, it is still the parties that will meet and have discussion. Whichever way, it is the same institutions that have seen us this far are the same institutions that will sit and work on this. The issue is that they are human institutions. And so, for example, if you wanted us to meet, then there is going to be, for instance, media budget to be read. You would not expect Ministry of Finance to be able to attend that meeting. So some of these things call for readjustment in time. And so it's not that government deliberately would ignore these, our cherished lecturers, when we have to meet them and have discussions. So I'm pleading with them that the matter has come before us. It's not a pleasant one. We are meeting UTAG tomorrow. We are meeting with SSA on Thursday. God willing, by end of week, the president has really seen to the ministers to ensure that we resolve this matter. So we are all on deck to ensure that they go back to the classrooms with happiness by way of their challenges that they brought before us being resolved.
I'm grateful for your time this afternoon. Mr. Bright Reku Brobe, he is a Deputy Employment and Labour Relations Minister.